Hello, group. Welcome to Extract Corner. I'm your host, Richard May. Today, whatever. No, that's the name of the band. Whatever. Into Darker Days. By whatever. This is going to sound strange to some extent. They're a punk band in Cleveland, where I'm from, and they did nice business in the 90s. But around the late 90s, they needed to grow up, whatever. And so they didn't do anything for about 25 years. And last year they put out a single, and a year before they put out a single, last year they put this out. And it's a fairly, if you get a good look at the cover, are those turkey vultures? In Cleveland, we refer to them as buzzards. I believe that's a buzzard. It's a thing in Northeast Ohio. Okay? So, it's not a happy record with happy imagery, having vultures. That's the Cleveland skyline, with vultures circling it, looking for fresh meat. Not a happy image. Or a happy album title, Into Darker Days. Well, yeah. No politics at the moment. Songs aren't happy. Our Decline, Watch Them Fall, Shelter in Place, I'll get back to that. Misfortune, Dig Our Graves, Among the Dead. Ready to break out the keg yet? No One's Home, Out of the Blue, Cut Down, Useless, Monotony, and What to Fear. Not happy stuff. But this is not what I'm into. I like somewhat more positive, at least neutral subject matter for a sense of humor, preferably, for my lyrics and album titles, whatnot. But I like this in the sense that I like Sabbath or Iron Maiden. Those are not necessarily, peak Black Sabbath and peak Iron Maiden are not happy songs either. But the music gets you past that. And the same thing happens with whatever. The music makes up for the lyrical content in my eyes. And and this may sound strange. The music, what is in the music that I'm appreciating, that they allow me to forgive the lyrical content? Well, they're a punk band, so there's a touch of Ramones. Sure there is. But there's also a lot of galloping Iron Maiden in there. Remember when Iron Maiden started with Paul Di'Anno, who basically was a bunk singer. Yeah, before they got Bruce singing opera up there. You know, the early Iron Maiden. The first 1, 2, whatever albums. That was a touch more punkish. This is a lot more punkish. And it's a good time. If you like your negative lyrics, you know, things suck lyrics, and you like your Ramones and Iron Maiden, hard rock and punk mixed together, which much of action rock is. It's hard rock mixed with punk. That's what we're about. This is indeed a merger of punk with hard rock. I like it. So it's punk, it's rock, alternative, and they really didn't go much outside Cleveland. They toured, you know, around the state and Midwest, whatnot. And, you know, it took that 25-year adult break. And now, can I digress? The reason why I found, because I like looking around, looking for bands that you may not have heard of. Because a lot of bands suck. I don't want to hear bands that suck just because they fill an arena or a nice sized theater and they're on tour all around the world. None of those bands suck. I'm being unfair. People like bands that tour for good reason. I don't hear it. Yeah, I appreciate it. I recognize it. If you play it for me, I'll go, oh, okay, I understand. I don't want to hear it. I understand, but I don't want to hear that nonsense. I want to hear this. I'm an action rock guy. And there's bands all over the place that are good bands we need to find and appreciate. In the new world of the internet, we can hear bands from all over the world, and they're never going to come to us for a tour. Whatever is not going to do a world tour, apparently. I don't know. Maybe they will. But they haven't done it yet. And it's good fun if you like darker lyrics. And I couldn't follow every word. I don't get a lyric sheet. But the music is cool. It was a good companion for the last day of listening to this over and over again of whatever. It's going to throw out the title section when you click on this video because there's more dots than I usually allow because it's part of their band name is the Dots. Wherever, ... I use ... as to separate the name of the band and the name of the album. It's going to look somewhat different, I think, when I do this one after I finish recording. Digression. But a digression that may matter to many of you. Part of the reason that the band Whatever went away for 25 years is the drummer became an entrepreneur. And he founded a restaurant chain in Ohio, mostly Cleveland, but all around Ohio, Columbus, Dayton, and whatnot. And it's a fairly famous restaurant chain, Melt Bar and Grilled. Yes, I said grilled. They sold grilled cheese sandwiches with a whole bunch of stuff in between. Not good for a guy on a diet that just dropped to 155 pounds. This is not how I did it. And Melt Bar and Grilled in Cleveland did big business back in the teens, back in the 10s. And there was a line at the door. And it was owned by the drummer of whatever, Matt Fish, who's a Facebook friend of mine. And we have a lot of mutual friends in rock and roll and Cleveland culture because of the restaurant. And the restaurant was very Cleveland centric. A lot of Cleveland stuff in there. And music. His menus was laminated album covers, cheap album covers. He didn't spend real money. You know, when vinyl wasn't a thing again. Okay, he got cheap album covers of often kitschy sort of records. That's cool to look at and go, what the heck? Well, the outside was the album cover, the front cover, back cover. In the middle was the menu of what his restaurant offered, and the beers and whatnot. And it was cool. It was iconic. And the lines were out the door. But with the pandemic and changes in eating habits, and he went out of business. But Guy Fieri, is that how you say his name? I'm not a foodie. But the big food guy, Guy Fieri, Fieri, he's still named Melt one of the 8 greatest sandwich shops in the United States last month. I don't know if it was a reprint or what. But yeah, last month this thing came out. Hey, look, Matt, your shop's still named as one of the 8 best sandwich shops in the United States. It was. I had to go to Columbus to get a chance to eat the darn thing. It was a lot. I was a bigger guy back then. I was working full time with my body, and I was heavier than now. I still couldn't come close to finishing the darn thing. Generous portions. Generous. And the line was at the, and I had to go to Columbus. But the line wasn't quite as long, where I could walk in and say, okay, give me this. Let me see what it is about. And I ate a number of times up here in Cleveland. And, but he had to close all of his shops and all of his restaurants. And he has time for whatever now. And his time was well spent. Cool band, and he's got gigs coming up, which is, his birthday was a couple days ago. This is my birthday present, my Facebook friend, Matt Fish. He didn't get a hometown discount for the review. It had to be good. Always has to be good. Because I had to listen to it over and over again. That's my promise to you. Yes, it's good, because I listened to it over and over again. You can't listen to it over and over again. You don't like it. If I listen to it over and over again, I like it. I like this. I think you will like it too. Here on YouTube, as usual. Go check it out. If you're a fan of both the Ramones and Iron Maiden, Touch of Sabbath. That's a band for you. Whatever. Name of the band. Whatever. Did I mention he's from Cleveland? They're from Cleveland, Ohio. And Melt is from Cleveland, Ohio. I think I mentioned it once or twice. Genre is punk, but very accessible punk. Very much a hard rock punk. No ballads. Don't worry about that. It's not happy songs. And no so slow, unhappy songs either. No girls breaking their heart. Production's nice. Production's very good. Mixed company. And it's not so macho. Yeah, I mean, I made that Iron Maiden reference, but it's not as macho as Iron Maiden metal. And if the girlfriend won't smack it outside the head for playing it, maybe she'll appreciate it, but she won't smack it outside the head, maybe. It's not quite that heavy. There's a touch of punk to living it up. I said it's on YouTube. If there's anything, I couldn't follow lyrics closely. And if there's anything to offend anybody, I missed it. Though, given the time of life, 2025, 2026, I didn't listen to their 90s stuff, so I can't compare this to what they were doing in the 90s. They had a cool mascot. Very much like a mascot, much like Eddie and Iron Maiden. Kind of a screwed up smiley face. I would like to see that again. I like that mascot. But this is a nice cover too. It's an effective cover. Turkey vultures over Cleveland. Turkey vultures over America. Buzzards over America, indeed. Through, of course, in Cleveland, we forget, because the big radio station was called the Buzzard. That was their mascot. It was such a cartoon image, I think people forgot, I forgot, that a buzzard is a vulture. Ain't that pretty either. As this indicates, it's not a pretty bird. So, there may be a failed comment on the state of the world in there somewhere, but I cannot say that definitively. You like this video? Bless your heart. Give it a like. Let the world know about the new whatever record. Happy birthday, Matt. And his co-founder. This is the punk part of the band. Let me get it right. I don't want to screw up. Ben Recht. Ben Recht, the guitar player, and Matt's the drummer. So you like me telling you about whatever, give this video a like and more people will learn about whatever. Subscribe to Extract Corner. Ring the notification bell. And go listen to whatever. Into Darker Days. And come back. Tell us what you think. And for the latest in action rock, garage rock, punk, psychobilly, psych, stoner rock, anything that rocks, industrial sometimes, we'll have it for you. And classic legacy bands, we'll have it for you. And thank you so much for watching. And remember, fresh music is as important as fresh food. Matt will tell you that. He's a cook. He's a famous cook. He was on all the programs and everything. It was a thing. Milk Bar and Grilled was a thing for foodies all around. We need you back, Matt. Well, if you want to stay behind the drum kit, that's more important. But you may want to make a living instead. It'd be nice if you made a living through this, but we love you in the kitchen. So, fresh food is as important as fresh music. It's my line. How can I screw it up? Fresh music is as important as fresh food. Have fun with your music. And we'll see you again soon. Thanks. Bye.